Hello, friends. I'm having a little trouble with my model. Give me a second, please. I may give you. You may get the PNG today because I'm having a little trouble with my model. So yeah, we'll do the PNG today. As we go to complete the last bit of Sacred Stones Reforged. Hello, Nido King. Oh, here, we're gonna sell some stuff and then buy some stuff at the secret shop. I feel like that's not our only gem, but maybe it is. Ah, here's some gems. Okay, let's see what they got in the secret shop here. I think haste is really good, so we're gonna buy some of those. I'll get another physic and another sleep. Let's see what they have at this one. Ooh, we can buy boots. We're just gonna buy 4 pairs of boots. I'm a streamer who dares ask the question, what if Neimi could move really, really far? Oh, you get Ismar's just for, like, entering? That's your advantage in Astra, that's nice. Alright, this looks pretty standard. Alright, let's have a go. She could go so far. And she's got the storm bow, so she can go so far and then shoot an enemy and then go again. How nice. So what is her total move now? 15? Okay, so she actually can't reach that next group of enemies. Hello, Zane. Yes, it is time. Oh, I guess I could have broken the wall and then sent units both ways, but oh well. Oh, she has her skill, so she will, in fact, get the kill here. Because we get +5 damage. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Neimi. Then you can use, like, a real bow against this guy. Nice. A bit of a late start to stream today because we are moving tomorrow, and I wanted to make sure we were at an okay place packing-wise for me to take a little break to do a stream. Which I am. We got a little bit more to pack, but I might just do that afterwards. Oh, a strength level for Tano. We love that for her. We have reached a point, though, where the low might on the Storm Bow is, like, not a complete non-issue. Sometimes she doesn't one round. With the Storm Bow, that is. She can always, like, use the Nidhogg in one round. Nice. Neimi is on fire. Somebody put her out. Get a halberd. Yeah. I actually doubt he would hit Erica, but better safe than sorry. Ooh, these fellas is beefy. Too beefy to be Storm Bud. Not that guy, though. That guy could be Storm Bud. Yay, magic level for Moulder. Our old man just keeps getting stronger. Man, one of them had a halberd, one of them had a hammer, and one of them has a steel axe. What did the steel axe guy do to get stuck with the only, like, lame weapon of the three? Like, was he just the last one there on the day they decided to pick weapons? Should have given him a devil axe as a joke. Hey, do I Wario? I mean, a devil axe would have been funny. I love a devil axe. I find devil axes highly amusing. Nice speed level. You don't move, right? Oh, you do move. That's crazy. Hopefully Erica is fine. She probably is. $27, 26. Defense of 8. I'd like to make Kyle a great knight and give him the devil axe so he can use the Garm by the end of the game. See, that's especially dangerous because if I remember correctly, doesn't Kyle have kind of bad luck? Ooh, I hope I didn't bad math. I may have bad mathed. I did bad math, but it's okay. Because Neimi is just built different. guy's got a 0 to hit. It's got a 35. This is like probably okay. He can usually survive one backfire. That's funny. Honestly, that like reflects poorly on him though. It's like, damn, you can't even hit hard enough to kill yourself with a devil axe. But yeah, I do think it's funny that the Devil Axe gives you a shitload of weapon experience. That way it's not like a total beam weapon. Here's maybe my hot Devil Axe take. Devil Axes should actually do even more damage. Because here's the thing. Like, right now, I feel like the risk-reward is too lopsided, right? Like, people tend not to use devil weapons because, like, they don't feel like it's worth it. They don't feel like they get enough out of it. But, like, if you made them do a lot more damage, maybe people would use them. I mean, probably not in Sacred Stones, right? Because Sacred Stones is just, like, you don't really need to use a devil weapon to get kills. But in other games where thresholds are harder to hit. Imagine getting doubled by a Siege Tome. That's a little embarrassing. Alright, we're almost through floor 1. This is a fast spider. Oh, I was like, where are there 2 enemies left? They're over here. Hey, this one's got a devil axe. Boom, 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 boom. Goodbye. Alright, we are going to be making a state each floor because you can't save in the middle, and if I die on like floor 6 or whatever and have to redo the whole thing, I am going to have a generational crash out. So in order to save both myself and all of you from that, we're just going to make a state. I didn't realize I had a black gem. Darn, I could have bought more boots. We could have given Neimi even more move. You guys all honest axe users, or is there let's check it to see if there was like an axe reaver or a sword reaver among them, but there's not. So we just have Erica kill all of them, I think. Or kill everyone last. Yeah, kill every last one of them, as it were. God, our Erica has become busted, I think. At least against these monsters. Yes, we can even patch up her defense a bit. I don't think any of these axe dudes can hit Erica. Axes is so heavy. Except the hatchet. Hatchet's not that heavy. Now watch as Erica murders all. The optimal way to play FE8. Dark Seal. Hello? Use this on a worthy general? And we get a Doulahan? Sadly, I don't have one of those. A shame we didn't do Armor Knight Amelia. Man, why can't Wallace join in this game? I wish Wallace joined in every FE game. Hey, Blind Coco. Blind Coco, are you a Wallace? Are you telling me you're a Wallace fan? Are you one of, like, the 4? Hi, Peckneck. It is time to reforge these stones. Or I suppose we're in post-game, so the stones have already been reforged. Erica, please stand on the murder tile and murder everyone. Always have been. See, one of the armors in GON screams, "Aha, a giant walks among you" on level up. That's funny. Hi, Strawberry Lemonade. I wish that Wallace, I think Wallace, whether you play Lin mode or not, or whatever, I think Wallace should always get his promotion. I don't like that if you, like, I get the reason, because if you use his Knight's Crest on someone else, then you used his Knight's Crest on somebody else, but, like, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like it balances out that decision at all. It just makes me feel like I get a worse Wallace. GON is Gales of Neimi, an upcoming indie SRPG that I am quite excited for. Wallace just needs better growths. I mean, that, and not to, like, have 2 perfectly good Cavaliers alongside him in Lin mode. Oh man, Colm can't just one round all these enemies. So sad. Nice, Neimi. See, Colm, why can't you be more like Neimi? Neimi's doing her job. Sentences I never thought I would utter as a Sacred Stones player. Why can't you be more like Neimi? Why does she have 9 million move? Hi, Morsode. Well, you see, I discovered that in the secret shops there were buyable boots, and I thought it would be funny if she could move really far. My conclusion from this experiment was, it is funny for her to move very far. Welcome back, Awakening. Would you believe me if I told you there's like a 25-30 minute script sitting on my computer right now about how I think Gale Force is a little overrated at Awakening? Maybe one day you'll get to hear my reasoning if I'm ever sufficiently happy with that script. Okay, Neimi, just kill him. Why not? Yeah, I mean, part of it also, I mean, obviously part of it depends, as with any Fire Emblem discussion, on, like, how you define good, right? Like, do we care about speed, or are we just trying to beat the game? What are our goals? But I think for most goals, Gale Force is not super important. I'm only on, chapter 17 of, like, my, ETC run of Awakening Lunatic. And so far, Gale Force would have saved me 0 turns. And I can think of maybe 1 or 2 maps in the future where it would save me a turn. But I don't think there's many. And then in terms of, like, if you're just trying to beat the game, I actually think Gale Force is, like, if you get Gale Force on your combat carry, you've probably made the game a little harder on yourself than if you just gave them, like, made them, like, a soul hero or whatever. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize quite how beefy this spider was. I think we're gonna have to haste. I got, like, beer muscles from playing the, Tower of Volney maps. I was like, I could just one-shot all the enemies, right? Yeah, the main thing Gale Force does, I would like, where I do think Gale Force is nice, some of the, like, skips that you might want to do on, like, the, like, harder mid or late game kill boss maps, excuse me, can be done without Gale Force. Like, you could just do them with rescue chains. But I think Gale Force does make them easier. Like it's simpler to concept a plan of, like, okay, pair the Gale Force unit into the Gale Force unit, run directly towards boss, versus some of the rescue chains that are like, okay, here's my, like, 5 staffers, one of them needs to be a flyer, and I need to position them correctly to do the skip. Not that it's, like, I don't want to make it sound super complicated to rescue skip, because it's not. But I do think it's nice that Gale Force can make things very uncomplicated. Yeah, Rescue and Awakening is actually crazy. Like, all of the crazy stuff that people do with Gale Force, you could do most of it with Rescue. Except, it's also E rank. And it gives a unit, like, 40 EXP just for using it. Hey, PSI Princess. Yeah, win more is a funny concept in Awakening. It's one I'm very familiar with as like a card game player. Like we call cards win more cards all the time. But it's interesting in like a single player game where the difficulty curve is weird. Like in Fire Emblem games, the difficulty isn't like a steady line, right? Like if you were to graph the difficulty of a Fire Emblem game, in most Fire Emblem games it would kind of go like up and down, right? You know, some games are very lopsided towards the late game or the early game or whatever, but for the most part, I think it would go up and down. And, like, sometimes that can make a win more card, like, win more strategy not bad, because it's like, okay, maybe we have, like, an easy mid-game and a hard late game, and we can, like, train a unit in the mid-game, and then they'll be good in the late game, so it's, like, worth it. But then in other games, not so much. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Your favorite kind of cards, root for your pants. What card games do you play, RBP? We've played Magic together, right? Pretty sure, so I know you play that one. I'm very excited for the Final Fantasy set. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. The other interesting thing about like Fire Emblem versus like win more tends to be a term used with like competitive games, I feel, or at least like very difficult games, but like in Fire Emblem games, like there's any number of reasons why you might choose like a character that might be perceived as suboptimal or whatever, either for like a challenge run or just because you like them or whatever, because like you know, the reason you might shy away from a win more card in like a TCG is because your assumption would probably be that the other people are going to be optimizing their decks, and if you don't, you might not win as much, and winning is fun. But in Fire Emblem, you just do whatever you want and win. So I feel like there's more room for that type of design, because as long as it's fun. Oh, the Xenos card? Yeah. I have some friends that really like Xenos, so I was excited to show them that one. Oh, you were at PAX? I'm jealous. I haven't been to a con in a while. I want to go to another one. And do another cosplay. I could bring back the Gold Mary cosplay, that's true. Break out the big unnaturals again. For the uninitiated, I did a Gold Mary cosplay like 2 years ago now, which is crazy for the stream. But for that reason, I own a large pair of fake boobs specifically for that cosplay that live inside of my closet. The reason they live in my closet being that one time I left them out and we had like a repair person come to our apartment, And I fully just had, like, my giant gold Mary tits sitting on the counter. And I don't know if he saw them, but I felt awkward about it. So anyways, now they live in the closet. Alternatively, maybe I won't need them once I'm currently working on, like, getting on hormones. Maybe I'll be blessed with huge naturals. Your sister's a furry and you're going to a local con in July. She wants to do Boney from Mother 3 when he's dressed up as some guy to get in the club. Cons are fun. I regret not going to, I used to live in New Jersey and I regret not going to NYC Comic Con while I was there. I mean, not that I can't now, I still could, but like I was right there. Like, it would have been really easy to go. I will say I have massive respect for the dedication of like furries that go to cons in fursuits, because I feel like it must be incredibly hot in there. So that's, I don't know, that's some dedication. Did I take the Vidofnir off her? I thought she had the Vidofnir. One of these days I should finish Undertale. I played some of it. I enjoyed it. But then I stopped. I don't even really remember why. It was in college, I probably just got busy. But I should probably finish it. See, Deltarune I know nothing about, except that there's that green guy I keep seeing in people's Twitter profile pictures. I think that's from Deltarune. Is there a green guy in Deltarune that people like? He's a little goat boy. Hold on. Let me look up, like, Deltarune green goat boy. Deltarune green man. Yeah, this is the guy. Let me get a name. Ralse. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I have seen so much of that character on just random people's social media profiles. Look, finishing games was a lot easier when I was a kid and I couldn't just, like, buy more games. So I had to finish the ones I had, you know? Like, I used to replay games a lot more. But now, I feel like, one, am an adult, and nobody can tell me not to spend my money on video games. So I can do that. But also, I feel like there's just easier access to cheap games than there used to be. Like, at any given time, there's like a dozen fantastic games on Steam for $3. And it's like, you know, sometimes I'll buy it because I'll be like, oh, it's $3. Of course I'm going to buy the cool video game. But then I end up with 8 bajillion games, all of which seemed like a good idea at the time. And I haven't finished any of them. Granted, I also have ADHD, and I don't think that helps. Being a teen with infinite free time allowed me to put 2,000 hours into Awakening. I played so much Awakening when it came out. It was crazy. And then I decided I hate Awakening. And then I picked it up again last year and I was like, oh wait, Awakening's good. I've had a emotional roller coaster with Awakening. Yeah, I was diagnosed with ADHD, but I usually at my doctor's recommendation, I don't typically take my Adderall on weekends. So you guys get the no Adderall lizard experience. Oh, this was the wrong unit to dance for, but I think it's fine. Awakening does have a good vibe. I will say, for whether you like it or hate it, the vibe is good. I think it's got pretty strong character designs too, which is a big thing for me. I like a game with good character designs. Open my eyes to sassy buff women. Your eyes were opened a little later than mine, I fear, but I'm glad that you found your way eventually. Is Sure that buff? I'd have to look at her. But I think in my brain I don't think of her as being super buff, but maybe she is. This is so silly. Do you have your ability? No, you don't. Okay, so I actually don't want to do that. When you were playing Unicorn Overlord, you had to show your sister Amalia because, yeah, Lamau. Yeah, I had a friend that as soon as I saw Amalia, I was like, oh, I know someone who's gonna like this character. And she did. I was correct. I really like Unicorn Overlord. I should make a video about Unicorn Overlord, because I think people should play that game. The only thing with Unicorn Overlord, though, is I was, it's not that the story is bad, but I was very disappointed in it because the previous game I had played by Vanillaware was 13 Sentinels, which I think I would describe as my favorite narrative experience in video games ever. Certainly top 5. So I was like, oh my god, and now they're making an SRPG? I'm so excited. And then I felt like the writing was like just okay. Oh, I love Berengaria. I like Tatiana too, the cleric with the plague mask. Unicorn Overlord's narrative seemed kind of typical of fantasy / tactical turn-based RPGs. Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's like not even that like I don't want to like dunk on it too hard because I think it's fine. It's like an average, maybe even slightly above average fantasy story for me. It's just, you know, I was like, damn, the last game you made was one of my like all-time favorites in terms of writing. So my expectations were very high. By the way, if any of you haven't played 13 Sentinels, you should. It's awesome. The only thing I'll say about 13 Sentinels is the gameplay is like kind of whatever. Like it's not really bad, but like the story segments are so much better where like whenever they made me do the gameplay parts, there's like, okay, but can I get back to the story parts? Any longbows in it? Nope. But like particularly on the supports in Unicorn Overlord, like I feel like they were like below the quality of your average Fire Emblem support, which surprised me because again, 13 Sentinels had really, like it had strong writing in general, but it had really strong character writing. So I was hoping that that would kind of translate to the supports, but most of them don't blow me away. More bolting. Fortunately, I don't think we're ever going to run out of boltings. I think we have 3 or 4 now. Ha! No doubling, no problem. Alright, there's one more chest, so we'll send Colm down to grab that. 12 enemies, where are the rest? Oh. I didn't even see these guys over here, to be honest. Oh yeah, Neimi is pretty nuts. Oh. Kind of forgot about Tethys. I like that she doesn't even have to worry about stone because she attacks twice before they attack once. The mad woman. Woo! Sheesh! Alright, let's cap the level on loot. Mother 3 being so focused on narrative is interesting since in the Earthbound exudes the charm. The plot is really just these kids go to 8 locations and kill evil. I should play some of the Mother series. I've been working my way through, like when I've had time, I've been working my way through Dragon Quest in order on the original consoles. And I mean, a lot of NES, SNES RPG plots. I mean, obviously not all of them. We had FF6, but a lot of them are pretty simple. Earthbound is Suburban Dragon Quest 3. Well, I mean, that makes sense because I mean, Dragon Quest 3 is just hero goes to a bunch of locations and gets some stuff. We're back at 2D Lizard. Yeah, I was having some issues with my model today, so we're on the PNG today. Also, hi Choosewall. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, I also like the PNG. That's why I never changed my, the channel profile picture. And don't get me wrong, I love my model too, hence why I use it. But I do like the PNG. I always forget Eurovision exists until, the winner is announced, because I feel like there's, excuse me. Usually some, controversy, although, you know, perhaps rightfully so this year. And last year. I guess it was the same thing last year with people, upset about, Israel participation, which makes sense to me. Thank you for the blessings. We have a slime. I'm not gonna lie, this map kind of looks like hell. Why were they just like, let's do walls the map? I could divide and conquer. That is one option. I always think siege toming a wall is funny. I guess it's not like, it's more funny to me when siege tomes have durability. And it's like, damn, you're spending one of your 5 siege tomes on a fucking wall. But like, sometimes you just really gotta kill a wall. I'm not gonna lie, our Erica is kind of the goat. Turns out, unlimited durability at 1-2 range Sieglinde. Pretty good. Pretty good. Damn, the spider's fast. Not fast enough for Colm, though. In 18 years, Forde can kill that guy. Groth got better after being turned into stone. True. He's made a full recovery. Didn't want to miss the creature campaign. You know, I learned today that Fire Force is set in the Soul Eater universe. Why didn't anybody ever tell me that? I might have watched it. I like Soul Eater. I honestly thought that show was just like about firefighters. Like normal ass firefighters, but like in an anime. Fire Force was so hyped for like 3 episodes and then I hated it. Damn. I need to watch more anime, but I'm just gonna watch Brotherhood again. Honestly, I need to get better at like finishing animes. I start a lot of anime, but I struggle to finish them, particularly if they're very long. No Apothecary Diaries this week. My wife's been watching that one. Yeah, Forde can break that and then we can go get all the enemies. Here, I'm gonna turn animations on because I don't think we got to see the Ooze's animation last time. And I'd like to see the Ooze's animation, if I'm being honest. Ooh, it's big and green. And it's rancid. Oh, I gotta turn animations back off. Too many enemies on these maps to play with animations on. The name is the Gaelic word for snail slime. Oh, that's fun. Hi, Strudel. Fire Emblem has a lot of Gaelic names for the monsters. Fire Emblem has a lot of, like in its history, like, uses a lot of Gaelic language in general, right? Doesn't, Yggdrasil is a lot of, Gaelic, I think. I think, Leonardo's bow in Radiant Dawn, I think, is too. Are these custom maps, or did they just make a bunch of cool sprites exclusively for Creature Campaign? My understanding, and Strudel, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think the maps are basically the same. And so far, I think all of the sprites have just been things that were used throughout the game, except for the slimes, which were from another project that Strudel was working on. And so they just kind of put them in here. And the Shadow Hero guys that we were fighting last stream, who were, I think, just recolors of existing classes, but I don't think we had seen those recolors before. You've never seen a single Creature Campaign map in your life? Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I feel like Creature Campaign is not like a super commonly played part of FE8. I played it when I was a kid, but since then I have not played a whole lot of Creature Campaign. cool how FE8 leaned into the RPG aspect of FE so much. Yeah, FE8 felt a lot to me like it borrowed a lot of concepts from Gaiden. And, you know, like you've got the overworld, the grinding maps, the monsters. I think you can see like a lot of design cues from Gaiden in FE8, which is cool. Yeah, the post-game is interesting because, like, I feel like for the time it was pretty exciting, in the sense that, like, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, oh, FE7 basically didn't have a post-game, so it's really cool that this one does. But yeah, I mean, it is ultimately, like, I feel like the tower barely even counts, because... like, one, you have access to it during the regular campaign, but two, like, your units will dominate it by the time you get to the creature campaign. So it's really just the ruins, and I guess the bonus characters, but the only really exciting bonus character I feel like mechanically is Leon, and you don't get Leon until you have already beaten the hardest thing in the game. Yeah, exactly. It was, when I was 11, it was great. Like, 11-year-old doesn't have another game and spends 100 hours on the game in the car. I liked getting all of my units to max stats. But yeah, it's true that there's not exactly a lot of meat to it. Oh, this isn't the wall I meant to shoot. That's okay. Yeah, the monsters being kind of weak in FE8 is like, has like pros and cons to me. On one hand, it does make them not very imposing. On the other, it does give FE8 like almost like a Warriors game feel sometimes, where like you can kind of get like that heroic fantasy of like Erica fighting 80 monsters on enemy phase, but like from like a tactical perspective, certainly the monsters could stand to be a bit more interesting a lot of the time in FE8. It's why I actually really like Egg Map, because Egg Map feels like it takes advantage of the flavor of the monsters to deliver a pretty unique map that I think, like, I don't know, it's not like it's super hard, but I think is a little more challenging than a lot of the other maps in FE8. Plan for the final update is to add a new post-game area with human enemies in Destroyed Grotto. Oh, that's cool. Infinite durability bolting. True. I think I have like 3 of them now. At least the Draco zombies are terrifying. That's true. The Draco zombies you don't want to mess with. I did like the Doolahans that you added in this. And maybe did some cardio between last week and now. That's true, she did. Alright, my friends. I know that this is a bit of a shorter stream, but like I mentioned earlier in this stream, we're actually moving tomorrow. And I need to finish packing. But I didn't want to cancel stream because I feel like I've been canceling too many streams lately. But I do need to get back to packing. So I'm going to hop for now. But we should be back next year, provided internet at the new apartment cooperates. But thank you guys for hanging out, and we should be getting back to Lagdou Ruins. Did I say next year? Next week. But see y'all later, and I hope you have a good night.